自分を信じる勇気は誰かが差し出す手から始まるんです。
でも飛べるのかな？
ええ。
Every drop of their blood calls to me.
Kill the half-breed!
I was born cursed, but I choose the hunt. One against them all. Fine by me. Bloody.
What's up, y'all? We're back for another podcast on the Black Swan channel. And yes, the title is correct. I have sold out. Now, I know a lot of people want me dead. Bro, you sold out. You said you would never use AI. Hold on, right? Hold on. Because it's how you use AI and what you use AI for. So, Black Swan, you're the one who took the liberty of taking my cover and putting it there on Sora, because Sora is not available in South Africa as of yet. So you put it in there and did some test drive. You also did it with your manga, Mr. Sasaki, yeah. And yeah, man, that looked real convincing. It looked real good. It looked like heartfelt movie that's coming out in cinema. So that's AI. And today we actually want to talk about, for people who see themselves as purists, people who don't want to sell out to AI, how and what should you use AI for, right? So let's start with your opinion, man, because you're the one who just jumped into Sora and tested it out. What the heck were you thinking when you jumped in there?
I was thinking about just using it for my whole entire project, my video editing, my video, make a video out of it, a comic, or fucking make a song out of it, and create a whole fucking AI project.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just fucking around. I basically using it. I was using it as like a crutch, not a crutch, but like a substitute to basically brainstorm, to basically come up with concepts. Since I can't draw, come up with concepts that I can send to my artists or send to whatever to develop these concepts that I have.
Yeah, in your case as a writer, I guess it is rather helpful. Now, I recently tried out the Grok AI, which is the Twitter one, and there's a whole bunch of people on Twitter who are just putting characters in there, making them dance or whatever. So I'm like, hey, let me try with my character. Now, it does not capture the character's likeness in its fullness, but I noticed you gotta keep redoing it, and then it actually adapts and starts capturing the likeness a bit better. But for me, I was like, let me try it and see what happens. So I did it, and there were some things that were off, and there were some things that were, what's that term? Happy accidents, like design-wise. Like Jacob's cape, in a way, when I put it in the AI to make Jacob walk, his cape turned into this different, it's like a cloak. And I'm like, oh, snap. That is really cool. I could give him a cloak eventually, you know? So definitely for design, it can be helpful. And I wouldn't say this is cheating because I already designed the character. Speaking from the artist's perspective, I already designed the character, already established everything about him, his silhouette. Putting in the AI then, you know, makes some mistakes, but some of those mistakes can be useful. So I really saw value in AI for the first time when using it for art. I would say, though, what I don't want anyone to do is that if you're going to build a project through and through, start to finish, using AI, and then you sell that project, you sell that book, and you say you created it, I think that's horse crap. I think that's wrong. That is not how you should use AI if you deem yourself a true artist who loves the craft. Otherwise, it means you don't love the craft. You know, what do you think?
Like for me, I've been using like AI, so I just started the YouTube channel. So I've been using AI for like music, because I've heard that you get like copyright strikes and stuff when you use music from, people who are already published and stuff like that. So I've been just using it like for soundtracks. Like it's kind of interesting. Like you'll type in like the name, like what you want to title the soundtrack, what kind of instruments you want in it, like add the different little prompts in there. So it's still like, there's still some creative aspects to it. And it allows you to create things a little bit on the fly where you don't necessarily have to find a whole band and I got to pay for a vocalist and a drummer. I got to pay for studio time. I got to pay for this. I got to pay for that. And just simply using it for like YouTube background music. And that shit actually comes out pretty good. It's not perfect, but hey, I'll take it. Like for stuff like that, YouTube backgrounds, like some people, you know, people who are in bands or artists in music, they would say like, oh, like, yeah, we don't want you fucking using AI music because it takes away from our thing. Like we can't make money as a fucking rock band or whatever. But like, hey, fuck that shit. I can't afford to pay thousands of dollars to get you to play a song. I got to get you to write the song. I got to do that. Nah, dude, fuck that. So I've been using it for stuff like that.
Yeah, and it would take too long in a way. This is not me saying, hey, everybody should do this, but it's definitely an important consideration. Because as you said earlier, using AI as a crutch in this way, the example of YouTube background music, even thumbnails, you're not selling a YouTube background track. You're not selling it. You know, you're not selling a thumbnail. It's only, my problem comes when you're selling a book, a song that was made through AI, and you're saying, "Oh, I did this." That is fraud right there. That is wrong. That's bullcrap. You're not an artist. So I see a bunch of dudes on Twitter who are using Sora to animate, you know, goon material, and they put it behind a paywall on Patreon, and I'm like, yeah, but dude, if everybody knows you use Sora for this or use Grok for this, anyone can take Supergirl and make some goon material out of her as well. Why should they pay you like $6, $8 a month for something they can type for themselves specifically? They might have other weird things that they want to put in there, right? So let's actually talk about the sustainability of AI in general, because right now there's like almost everybody's using AI. Like you have to be somebody who works at a warehouse who barely has a phone or is too tired to scroll around to not be enticed to use AI even for fun.
Or too goddamn old.
Oh, you're too old, you know? So I saw a video about Sora 2, about the CEO of Sora 2, and how apparently they know that this is creating a bubble, like the .com bubble, that it will burst and so on. Now, it's very speculative in that video, but the guy said Sora isn't making any profit from all the AI stuff that they are allowing users to make. Sora 2 is like an app which serves like a TikTok. It's like AI TikTok, where you can generate Martin Luther eating chicken, Michael Jackson fighting Kobe Bryant, blah, 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 right? It's all senseless fun. And I'm sure it could get old very quickly because it can't work as a source of information. Now, TikTok full of disinformation too, but you can find the relatable information, even if it serves your bias. So, sustainably speaking now, what do you think about AI's use for the general public and then AI's use for so-called artists?
So currently right now, I think that shit is funny as fuck. I've seen some random shit, dude. Everywhere I go, I'm like seeing random shit. I can't, like Queen Elizabeth rapping Martin Luther King with like bling in his mouth and all this fucking crazy ass shit. I think that shit is fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at it simply just right now in the moment, that shit to me is entertaining. I've been watching like this one on Instagram where they show like the background of Pokemon characters in 3D. And it'll like show all the Pokemon characters, how they start off, how they're born, their life, what they go through inside their terrain, if they're in the forest or in their snow or wherever they are, how they develop, how they get stronger, who they battle. It's kind of interesting. Like it's they got like David Attenborough on the fucking narrating it. So that's pretty fun, dude. Like right now, I think the shit is fun. As to the dangers of it and how it affects artists, I think you still have to be creative even when using fucking AI. You know, it's like you know what to put in, how to describe things. You have to have what is it, linguistics, or fucking know how to put words together to like get the prompts that you want. So it takes some skill. Yeah, in regards to artists, you know, for me, I don't really trip on it too much. If you want to do AI art and you want to sell AI art, go ahead. I think a lot of times I can tell, I don't know, that might change in the future, but a lot of times I can tell when it's AI art. I mean, you can tell by the other work they make, like how similar are their other works to that initial work they dropped. Right now, I don't trip on it too much. Maybe I'm just being a little bit like foresight. I have a lot of foresight about it. But yeah, I think it's like the fucking Wild West creative fucking like the initial internet thing. For me, I'm just having fun with the shit. I can see the dangers from like fucking Minority Report, like framing me or putting me on camera, like committing a fucking crime, and I didn't do nothing to begin with. But right now, I'm just having fun with the shit. That's like my outlook on it. But you probably open me up to some other thoughts about it, but that's where I'm at with it so far.
Yeah, I agree that it is pretty fun right now. You can do anything, you know. It's the new hip thing at the moment, right? Take your character, Pikachu, whatever, and do whatever you want, you know. So what you mentioned there about the Pokemon and their origins, that is pretty interesting. It's not like Nintendo is going to give us that, right? These companies don't want to give us the lore, the depths of things. So people are using AI to fill in the gap. And that is cool. The problem is just that, well, if you're using AI to fill in the gaps, you can't really profit from it. And if you do, best believe Nintendo would have you underneath the jail in 24 hours. That this dude sold a Pokemon documentary and he sold the DVD for $50. They would take all your money, your house, your grandma, everything, right? So in the end, it's like, this cannot continue to be used for free. There needs to be profit in the end. And all these people who are using AI to only create goon material, that's unsustainable also. No one's going to keep paying something they can do for themselves. It's impossible. There's only value in scarcity. AI removes scarcity and it opens the door for everybody. Remember when I used to speak about gatekeeping? A lot of things have value because there's less people in it. It creates this exclusiveness to it. But now you're removing that. You're removing the barrier to entry. And now everybody is selling you something, right? Imagine if every human being can grow tomatoes in their backyard. Who's going to need to buy the neighbor's tomato if you got your own tomato? It doesn't work. In the end, it's like, nah, y'all need to diversify over here. Because if everybody's just producing the tomatoes, you're going to die of tomato poisoning, if that's even possible.
I'm sure the company has some fucking big grand scheme because, you know, most of the time companies, they have subscription services. So I'm sure this is like, they have some kind of foresight or kind of future outlook on what they're going to do. Maybe they just want to see people, how they respond to this new technology that they've released to the public. So I don't know, they're probably like doing statistics and studying and whatever. Like because of course they want to monetize off something like this. Of course people would buy this shit instantly. You have a bunch of subscribers. So they got us kind of up the scheme.
The best way to measure what these people are thinking, these people at the top, because I don't think they're actually that smart anymore. I think they're too rich and they just want to make more money and they trying whatever, right? I think they're actually retarded. But look, let's remember what happened with the NFTs. Remember that? It was booming. Even Trump had NFT coin or art or whatever, right? He had it. He sold it. It was booming. Certain organizations were offering it. Even certain art websites were offering NFT art, stuff like that, right? So that just disappeared. Now, whoever created the NFT probably was like, yeah, we're going to make a lot more money out of this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Going into this digital type of new world order. But it didn't work. I, for one, could not take NFT seriously because it had no real value. There was, here in South Africa, a Nelson Mandela's ID NFT copy, bro. And I'm like, are you serious? And they were willing to sell that for like $100,000, right? I'm like, who in the fuck would buy a digital coin, NFT card, whatever, of Nelson Mandela's ID? Why would anyone do that? Right?
And I'm not gonna lie, I brought like fucking 2 or 3 NFTs. Bro, so and I still own like crypto and stuff like that. I mean, I still see for me, I guess I didn't keep up with the NFT market. Like I still have the stuff. I got it on like I got it hidden somewhere, and I still got like crypto. I still got all that shit. So
What enticed you to buy those NFTs? Let's see.
what enticed me to buy them? I think that initially I got into crypto because of Bitcoin. And through Bitcoin, I started like, I guess I still have faith in Bitcoin, and I believe in Bitcoin, but I guess I wanted to speculate in some of the other crypto assets, and that was just one of the ones I decided to speculate into.
Now, you see, I just searched here on the Google Gemini as to like what happened to the NFT trend. And it says here, NFT experienced a massive speculative bubble in 2021 and early 2022. Just a quick full stop right there. Haven't we seen this before also, the speculative trend, right? Because I would say AI as it is right now, it's rather speculatory as well. These companies, these big corporations were like, yeah, we're going to fire everybody and we're going to replace them with AI and stuff like that. That's speculative because if you fire everyone, right, how in the world is the people who you fired going to purchase some of the products that you are producing? It doesn't make any sense. NFT in itself, it's like you buy a digital coin or whatever, and you can't use it to exchange in the real world of something of value. So how does it actually work in the long run? I mean, notice how quickly these trends come and go. AI came about, I'd say, 2023, late 2023, started seeing those photos with the weird hands and stuff like that. And everybody's like, don't worry, it's going to take 50 years for it to be good. Well, now it's excellent, right? In like 2-3 years. And all these companies are trying to invest into AI. You saw that Microsoft invested, I think, $7 billion in an AI department, and it's a huge mistake. It just can't work. But continuing to read here, it says the frenzied hype has since collapsed. The summary goes as this. Speculative bubble burst. The peak of NFT market was driven largely by speculation and a get-rich-quick narrative. It's literally the same thing. Normies are even saying, yeah, I'm going to use AI to create big booty chicks dancing and they're going to subscribe to my stuff. Bruh, it's the same thing. Continuing, when macroeconomic pressures like rising interest rates and inflation and market saturation hit, the speculative bubble burst, leading to a dramatic drop in sales volume and prices. Okay, what do you think about that so far?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a speculative market. New technologies are speculative. Like what they have, like there was a hype around electric cars, I think in the early 1900s or something like that, like maybe mid 1900s. There was a speculation that electric cars would come out, around that time. They may have had like prototypes, a few different models, but then look, none of that shit got released until like modern day today. There's a lot of speculative markets, and it's up to the individual whether they decide they want to invest in these speculative markets. Like, they don't always succeed immediately. Some of them just collapse, and then some of them they make an impact, they go dormant, and then they rise back up. So it's speculative. Whatever you want to do with your money or your investments, and then with what you believe in the future will be profitable for you.
In a way, but you would think that these people would remember that NFTs came and went. Even in the 90s, the comic speculative market as well, right? Same thing with electrical cars in the early 2020s. Even here, bro, like here, we barely have electricity and niggas were buying electrical cars. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? How are you going to charge this thing? And how much will it cost you to charge a whole car? The electrical bill at your house is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, that's the same thing in California. When Gavin Newsom, he said, "Oh, we're gonna phase out all new gas cars by like 2035 or 2030 or something like that." And then during that same time period, people were buying electric cars and blah blah blah. And then he's saying like, "Oh, don't charge your electric cars because of the power shortage issue." And then they like start closing. They were closing power plants and all kind of shit. So all that shit's fucking, idiotic and whatever. So
It really, really does go to show that the people at the top are retarded, bro. Like, they always want to seem virtuous. So when an idea like save the planet, global warming, greenhouse gases, let's stop the coal, stop the oil, by, shutting down power plants, and how are you going to produce things? The entire modern world is built on coal, oil, and gas. You shut that down, everybody's going to starve to death, right? But because they don't really know how the world works, because they're so rich, they have billions shoved up their ass, bro. They think you can buy a new reality, and you can't. So finally understanding that the oligarchs are actually retarded, it actually makes me feel better, because I cannot believe that there is a secret society anymore that is purposely demoralizing people. No, it's just a state of decadence. The people got too much money. They think they can buy a new reality because all that money is so much. And that's not how it works. And they never know that you can't buy a new reality always until it's too late.
What I always assume is they're just pushing. So they have a narrative that they push because they have a goal, they have an agenda, and then they have the narrative that they push. I feel like they're just they push this narrative and then they make adjustments, and then they'll go against what they said a few years ago because they said it a few years ago. Then they'll double back and say something new now. So they're just like shapeshifters, and they'll do whatever it takes to please the people in power. And therefore they'll but the agenda continues as laid out. They don't mind lying and skewing their words and double backing on what they said. But as long as that agenda moves forward. So like the whole thing about there's like a concept of removing people's the gasoline cars, and then depending on the electricity, it's like, if I can take away your car, that's the ability to remove your independence as a person, your freedom. You have the freedom to drive wherever you want. You can go from here, you're here. Like the car is a symbol of freedom. Yeah. And if I can take that car away from you, now you're reliant on me. Or if I can get you into this electrical infrastructure, then I can take your power away from you. It's like, yeah, that's like the concept. It's like I can basically have control. I'll put you on fucking public transportation. I have control over that. I'll put you on this. I have control over that. So it takes away your autonomy as a person. That's my outlook on the whole. And that's a little bit of a side note, but yeah.
No, it's true. Again, they're retarded, because when you centralize everything, any wrong thing that happens at the top, everything falls apart at the bottom. That's the stupid part of centralizing everything. A decentralized society, that's when most ideas are born, where people can be innovative and creative. Because ever since they tried to centralize, not even tried, they have succeeded in centralizing media and entertainment, right? There's always one narrative being pushed throughout everything. In the games, in the movies, in the American comics, right? There's a manga right now being pushed by Viz Media, about what it means to be half black and half Japanese and dealing with racism in Japan. I'm like, nobody asked for this bullshit. But that's a narrative, you know, it's an agenda because they are centralizing everything. And again, when everything is centralized, you kill creativity, you kill the ability for people to be geniuses because a centralized North Korean style dictatorship, no one can have the time to actually explore and speculate about a different reality or different possibility because they're constantly being bombarded by one message of corruption or one message of control. And that's why North Korea is the way it is. North Korean government controls everything, the power, the food supply, the bus station, blah, blah, blah. And look at those people. They're legit suffering, bro. They don't know what it's like to be fully human, how to be creative, how to express yourself. So it can't work. And North Korea is reliant anyway on, you know, China and Russia. So it doesn't work. If the whole world turns into North Korea, who are we going to be reliant on? If the whole world turns into Cuba, who's going to give us extra food supplies? There ain't no aliens who are going to do that, at least not yet. The second point was worthless collections. Reports indicate that a very large percentage of NFT collections that were launched during the hype cycle have since lost all or nearly all of their monetary value. And you still have some of yours, right?
Oh yeah, I still got them sitting in the corner collecting dust.
Man, it's a damn shame, bro. It's a damn shame. But these people, they haven't learned, man. It's as if this happened 30 years ago, but it happened 3 years ago. Just think about that.
So your outlook on what's your view on the whole AI thing and like the artists? You just think that it's okay to use it sparingly? It's okay to use it for marketing? It's not okay just to use it in totality for your entire projects? Well, what's your view on it?
Like the animation, the AI animation we played at the beginning of that bloody hell one, it's useful for marketing. It's useful as a tool. It's useful as a crutch. But it should not be used as a product. You know, you can't sell AI. AI cannot be a product, should not be a product, because no one can buy a tomato that they have in their backyard. You see, then that's why it's unsustainable, right? All these idiotic companies, now that we've definitely proven that, yeah, they are retarded, and they were on the NFT trend as well. They do not yet see that this is messed up, this ain't gonna work, and it's gonna lead to another burst as the NFT bubble burst. A lot of people spent money buying those things. Whoever was selling it, they made a lot of money. Now, Sora has offered subscriptions, right? I'm sure there's a multitude of people who are actually paying, they're like $30, $40 a month to do all kinds of AI stuff. And let's say they started using it since like mid last year, all the way now. How much money has that been, bro? If you have maybe 6 million people who are paying $40 a month for 2 years, that's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So in a way, they got what they wanted, right? There are reports that tell us that it costs 8 billion or 49 billion or 100 billion to build this AI station. We don't know that. Who the hell's going to trust the media now after the whole COVID situation? Who's going to trust them? Right? I don't trust them. Neither should anybody else. So at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They running ads on those apps and so on and so on. They are making their returns, right? And I think our current society operates on hype in general, a new techno-based type of hype. And it's like, everybody got to get on this. You don't want to be left behind. FOMO type thing. The selling point of AI, even on big companies, was if you don't use AI, you will be left behind, right? That was one reoccurring message that your company will be left behind if you don't use AI, because AI is going to be the most optimal thingy that you can implement. And long story short, in current reality, that's not really the case, right? So
One thing I thought was pretty cool though, just on the note of like the benefits of AI for artists is like, if you can't afford a production company and you have this idea for an animation or a movie, and you can like put pictures in, you can add your manga to it, you can add like script to it. Dude, you can create your own fucking anime and not have to go to the animation studio. Like that, I mean, it's probably still, all that shit's like years out, probably needs to be refined. You probably still have to know how to use the programs, the prompts, and everything else. But dude, that shit's insane. It's like, okay, I don't have to. That's like gatekeeping the animation studios. I don't have to go through an animation studio now. I don't have to wait for you to like approve me or sign me to be able to do these things. So yeah, there are definitely some, I'm just looking at the pro of it and that from that particular position. But yeah, dude, that's fucking insane. Like, I don't have to go through fucking Viz Media or Marvel or Kodansha or whatever. You know, I can like, I'm gonna go make my own fucking anime. And if you like it, you can watch it.
again, bro, who would buy a tomato they have in their backyard? You see, it removes value. Just because, yeah, I don't have to go through these big companies anymore. The companies had value because they served as gatekeepers. The lack of gatekeeping, the lack of a standard institution, we can trace that back to the video game bubble burst of the 80s. It was the same thing, right? There were multiple like weird garage companies that were taking other games and putting a new skin on them and then selling it in retail. There was no control means of, regulating quality for video games in those days. So if you had a cartridge or a console, it was easy for it to be put in retail, right? And if you have every guy in the garage or basement competing directly with Atari and other big video game companies at the time, there's no differentiation of which is quality and which isn't. It leads to a burst and it leads to fatigue of slop. There was slop of video games coming out back then. It's literally the same thing.
How I kind of look at it, to be frank, I'm like, fuck it. Like, if you look at, like, I think you mentioned before about like video games, right? A lot of the new creators in these video games, like, do you think that they're making quality games and quality storylines in the video games or movies they're producing?
Not right now. It's going to lead to another burst.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, fuck it. I mean, this is just one perspective. That's just me saying it on the fly, just thinking about it really quick. It's like, fuck it. Like, if you guys don't want to produce good works, you guys don't want to produce people with interesting ideas, well, fuck it. Take the market share away from them. Like, allow people to produce and then just allow a saturated market, and we'll see where it develops from there. What happens next? I mean, there has to be something. We're humans. There's got to be something that I guess it'll just be little segments of people who are and you'll have like your tribe and they like your productions. They like your works. I'm not sure how that will work, but in regards to gatekeeping by these companies, they've had their chance to gatekeep. They've had their chance to gatekeep the proper way.
Yeah, no, they screwed, that's for sure, because they've broken, customer trust over and over. Are they just, screwing people over and so on? But what happened in terms of the recovery of the video game thingy was that Nintendo came along and it became the standard, right, in 1985. And now there was a strong sense of gatekeeping, and regulation was done through Nintendo. You had to be certified through Nintendo partners that this game has been tested and blah, blah, blah. It's legitimate. It's not just going to end up on the shelf. What is happening now is like, okay, if I just started using AI for everything that I'm doing, there is no way I could maintain the tribe that I still have. There's no way people would still be subscribed on Patreon. For what? It's like, wait, I could just jack Koffee's personality and put it in the AI and listen to him for free if I wanted to, right? But it's not the real thing. You are trying to get authenticity, right? The zombies They're the ones who don't mind taking your likeness and putting you there, but then they will get tired of it too. At the end of the day, the human being they need a narrative and a source of that narrative that actually inspires them a little bit, right? They need it. There is no way they can function without it. Even though for a while it can seem that way, eventually they lose their mind, and then a new tyrant rises from the ashes and says, I will take you to Valhalla or the promised land type thing, right? So as things are, I'm no longer worried about AI taking jobs or whatnot. It's not sustainable. This bubble will burst. The companies would have made their money from people using it, but the hype will die down, because what people need the most right now is a job, is a guaranteed future to some extent. So people like us who are creating our own original works and selling that original work, we're not selling an AI product. That's the key message here, is that you cannot sell an AI product. You have to sell a human product, you know? So it's that simple. Like, whoever's selling their AI products on Patreon, that stuff gonna fizzle out in like a year or two. Nobody gonna keep paying for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe so. I mean, I really don't have, this is like an area for me. It's hard to make a prediction. Like, I really don't know how it's going to play out. I know the companies will find a way to adapt. But I do believe that we at the bottom there will be less opportunity, and we will become more poor. I know that's going to happen for sure.
Oh yeah.
But outside of,
You'll own nothing and be happy. Yes, there will be more poor people. But I also think fortune favors the prepared. These poor people, first of all, us actually owning nothing and being happy is fundamentally unsustainable, like North Korea. Those people own nothing at all, and they are not happy, right? If people don't have any legitimate tie to their work, to their land, to their house, they don't seek to preserve it, maintain it, fight for it, or go the extra distance for it. You then rip out people's desire for tomorrow. And if you rip out people's desire for tomorrow, you have a gray, dingy, dystopian place like North Korea where the people can starve to death, right? If everything is centralized and you monitor how much a human can eat, how much this, and that, it's just going to drop dead, bro. It can't work. It's unsustainable. Because even the farmer be like, you are regulating and controlling my harvest. I worked hard to reap a gigantic harvest, and you're telling me that I have to burn half my crops? No, that farmer will leave, right? He leaves and he says, I'm going to go to a different farm. They tell him, no, there's a Terminator there. You're going to go to the Gulag concentration camp. And what's going to happen? If you destroy the farmer who knows how to have a proper harvest, you're going to have subpar crops, and the people will be malnourished, and you have North Korea. So I don't believe as well that us being poor will be a long-term thing, right? It can't work. Even Elon Musk did say that if there is a centralized control upon the world, one thing goes wrong, all of us perish. He said that. Now, of course, they're clearly not listening to him, but I say these things because fortune favors the prepared. The day all of these things are proven to not work, there's going to be a frenzy and a pursuit for new material. These companies that cater to the centralized narrative and agenda of slop production and slop stories, they will be forsaken. And people will be like, we need something new, we need something good. They will pursue the internet and be like, I need something. And then even the companies themselves will be like, damn, the people don't trust us at all. Is there anybody at the bottom that has a decent story? Oh, what's that? It's bloody hell? You know what? Let's give him $1 billion and use him. He'll go and live in the Bahamas and be fine. But this is how we can win back the people. Because now they're going to choose a few people at the bottom like us give us $1 billion and let us have freedom of control, and the people can be inspired again, and on the cycle goes. That's how it works.
So that's best case scenario.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is fucking AI fucking wipes us all out, right? Because I've heard like some of the founders of AI say shit like that, like it's like really dangerous. I don't know the specifics about it, but I know that these are the founders and the creators of a lot of this shit. Like I think that the guy who founded OpenAI, I think he left, right? He retired or he left the company and everything.
Bro, look at Oppenheimer. Didn't Oppenheimer be like, damn, I think I've destroyed the world creating this bomb, right? You watched the movie, right? The dude was dying of anxiety, like, oh no, everything will be destroyed. Nothing. I remember, I wasn't even born yet, but I read the books, how in the 70s and 80s, people went into the bunkers, bro, waiting for another bomb to go off and people would be raptured. These doom events are actually part of human nature. It creates cults, you know, but the people who create these weapons of mass destruction, like the atom bomb or AI, they all say the same thing. And that's why I can't take them seriously anymore. It's in our nature to brace for impact, brace for fear, or prepare ourselves to negate fear, because subconsciously we are always in pursuit of permanence, right? Nietzsche said that the human being needs a state of permanence. That's why he will fight. He'll fight to create something he doesn't actually even need, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates doesn't need anything anymore. But his endeavors, creating these schemes and food programs throughout Africa and vaccine programs throughout Africa, and it's not what he's saying it is. He says, no, this is how I actually control an army of Africans if war breaks out. I, Bill Gates, actually have an army of African children that I can use if war ever breaks out. Dude, there ain't no war that's gonna break out. The real war is a damn nuke going off and we're all doomed. So that's not gonna happen. Cuban Missile Crisis, remember that? Oh no, Cuba's gonna nuke us. That was a complete hell show, bro. Like freak show. Everybody was worried. I cannot fall for this again because COVID showed me flames, bro. I was so worried. I'm like, yada yada this, yada yada that. So, nah, man. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the AI thing, it's just figure out how you can utilize it. Like, I think that's kind of like the whole point of the discussion is like, figure out how you can utilize it, like how you can make it work for you. And that's like the best thing to do. If you want to sell like complete AI work, then, you know, do what you do. If you want to make just soundtracks for YouTube, do what you do. You know, use it to your heart's desire. That's my only opinion. And if you become successful doing it, then hey, you got people that bought into it. If you don't, then you're going to be like probably 99% of the people who use it.
Well, in the end, I say, don't sell it, y'all. Use it for marketing purposes. I say this because I'm a purist, right? So I want to do more bloody hell promotional animations. I'm okay with that because I'm not selling you the animation. I'm selling you the book that I make myself. See what I mean? That's the key difference. So yeah, I created that one bloody hell soundtrack, and I wanted to pay somebody, and I reached out to that guy. We made a deal, and he disappeared, bro. I'm like, at the last minute, and it was gonna cost me like $400 for like a whole album, and I was ready. He's ready to pay, but he disappeared for whatever reason. I'm like, you see, part of the problem is most humans aren't trustworthy anymore. Collaboration just falling apart. So it kind of forces people to use AI, but then if your product is built with AI, I would never buy it. I don't care how good it is, because I'd be like, I'm going to take exactly what you showed me and do it myself. I'm going to take my own tomato and grill it up the way you grilled it up.
I'm with you. If somebody selling AI, selling an AI product, I'm not going to buy it.
Hell no.
100%.
Otherwise, it's another NFT thing. it has no value whatsoever. But yeah, I think we are all in the clear, to be honest. I think nobody should live in fear. I've lived in fear for too long, bro. Uh, I've tried so hard to hold things together in my life, and the tighter I held on to what I thought I could control, the more it got ripped away from a dude, right? So everybody can't live in fear, should not live in fear. Work on your stuff, people, because when this bubble bursts and people want real food, have that food ready to go. Have it ready to go. Like imagine, not even imagine, there were times after World War II or after the Great Depression, some people who were offering something outside of rations, you know, I don't know, let's say they were just creating vegan patties or something like that, right? Or rat meat. Who knows? There was somebody during or after the Great Depression who was offering a service most people couldn't really partake in or buy, right? Or product they couldn't buy. But they kept on with it until things got better. When things got better and people got more money in the bank, they're like, hey, I remember Roscoe's Kitchen. Let me go over there. Next thing you know, Roscoe getting all kinds of clients, because in those dark times, people remember only the can of beans that they were getting from the government and spicy beans from Roscoe, right? So now they're going to flock to Roscoe. Roscoe has a whole new menu, and he's going to make 10 million in that year because people remember him offering something different in the dark times. And that's us right now. You offer your spicy beans, not with fake protein, but real protein. The day that people are tired of the fake protein beans they're getting from the AI slop in Hollywood right now, they're gonna knock at your door. And before you know it, even the government or one of the studios will be like, we're gonna sponsor your spicy beans so that it can have a bigger reach, because we're low on money. So we're gonna give you money so we can make more money ourselves, type thing. I think that's a very logical outlook to how things actually work. I don't think I'm being optimistic here. I'm being very realistic. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, I'd say you're being optimistic. How I look at it is, shit, get with the times. Not all the way, like use it to your advantage. However you feel you want to use it. If you want to use it for music, if you want to use it for just like in prototypes, however you want to use it to your heart's desire. And if you can become successful doing it, do it. You know, anything that causes competition, I'm for it. If you're going to create competition with companies, especially, I'm for that shit for sure. So however you decide to use it, it's there. So I'm like, do what you do what you want with it. That's my opinion, you know?
All right. Well, yeah, guys. So technically, I did not sell out to AI, but I am going to be using it for promotion. Um, for other things, let's say I want to go against Common America, which I am, right? I could use AI to make Jacob cut Common America in half, but no, there's no value in that. I have to draw Jacob cut Common America in half. That will create value because it shows that no, I am a real creator. In fact, that's what I did today. I was drawing Jacob cut Common America in half, calling her hussy. It's all about the boobs and the ass, Common. You're not popular because you have anything to offer. You're just wiggling your butt around type thing. And then he cuts her in half. So, yeah, that's me. Y'all can have your other little gimmicks, but you can't rely on the gimmicks. And I don't rely on it. And that's why I won't rely on AI. For marketing, you can have fun. But yeah, that's it for today. You had any closing words?
No, go out there, get your prompts up, get your fucking mid-journey skills up, get your chat GPT skills up. Go out there, make some money, or do whatever you got to do. Shit, hustle.
All right, hustle, y'all. That's it for now. Until next time.